Here's your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, the franchise guide.
Number one in calling basically a rookie mistake is paying yourself too high a salary, essentially almost suffocating the business financially the first year. So what do I mean by that? We're not saying not to pay yourself a salary. This one I did. I kind of went into the business saying first year, personally, I did not have to take a salary at all, and any profits would be reinvested in the business. Well, some other people may not have that ability. Maybe they left their job. Maybe there's not another income. My case, my wife was working. So what do I mean by that? Go ahead, definitely pay yourself a salary, but the intention is, not to really match the salary. So if you left your job to run this business, to match that salary immediately, unless it's a lower salary, but paying yourself too much of a salary when the money is there is great. It's tempting, right? You have the money in the account. And usually what's going to happen is that the rest of the business is going to suffer, because if you're paying yourself, just say you're round the number 10, 20, 30,000 a month, and the money is there, that's great. But now what's going to suffer? And usually what we've seen is marketing, and marketing suffers, or maybe another employee not being hired. Maybe that just doesn't happen because there aren't enough funds in the business. Again, not saying you can't, pay yourself any type of salary, but making sure you budget accordingly. When you're going into a business, you don't want to use all your life savings here. You want to make sure that there's enough there. So number one, if you are leaving a job, who is paying your rent, your mortgage, your student loans, whatever expenses you have? Also, the business may take a little bit longer to get up and running. So you want that financial cushion. If your spouse or whoever your partner is working, or if you're keeping your job, great, you got that income coming in, but expect the business to have a little bit more expense, because you're probably going to factor in a general manager, another salary in the mix. Whereas if you took on that role, you would, get rid of that salary, not the need to pay that salary. Paying yourself too high a salary is one. And I would just say, hey, if you're going into this to need to match your salary, there are other options. Maybe the investment's too high. Maybe you look at a general manager and keeping your job the first 6 to 12 months and transition into it. But if you have to do that, think twice. Also, it is tempting, as I mentioned. As soon as that, we had Rocky Lalvani, a good friend of mine, from Profit First, and then you have buckets. So when that money comes in, you close a $10, $20, $30,000 deal. Maybe that 10% that you allocate towards marketing gets eliminated right away and goes right into that account. As you have your tax account, your income account, and things like that, you may want to do some type of Profit First system. There is some services out there that will automate it, where maybe you have one bank account where everything hits, all the income, and then it gets split up into 5 different buckets. That way it's less tempting, and that way you can figure out what you should truly be paying yourself after the expenses of the business are being paid. Profit First, check it out, Rocky Lalvani. We could post that or link that episode to this show. And that way you can use that as a reference. And yeah, highly recommend working with Rocky and taking a look at Profit First.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn how to make the transition from corporate to owning your franchise, join Giuseppe on the next episode. You can also follow on all social media platforms and achieve financial and time freedom today.